Good morning, everyone, and can I welcome you to the public part of the Social Security Committee's 8th meeting of 2021. No apology received, and for our final meeting of this parliamentary session, we have got a full house. And in a moment, we will be going to agenda item 2. So I should note that agenda item 1 was previously in public, it was in private session rather, my apologies, and it was a presentation from Dr. Simon Roberts about the implication for Scotland's devolved benefits in the UK-EU Trade and Cooperation Agreement. So just put on record my thanks to Dr. Roberts for assisting the committee at agenda item 1, which was a private session. As this is the final meeting of the committee this session, I would like to take this opportunity to thank my fellow members, the clerking team, DICE, Outreach, and all those who have supported the committee over the past 5 years. I would also like to thank Sally Witcher and the other members of SCOS for their invaluable scrutiny of the Social Security draft regulations that we have looked at. I would also like to give a special thanks to the witnesses who gave evidence to the committee and those who shared their lived experience with us at our outreach events. Your input has been invaluable to our work. The Parliament is working to improve its witnesses' diversity, and I'm pleased to say that over the last year, 57% of the committee's witnesses were female, a trend that I hope will continue in the next session. So we now move to agenda item 2 on subordinate legislation. Can I refer members to paper 2? The committee is invited to consider the Milk and Healthy Snack Scheme Scotland Regulations 2021, SSI 2021/82, which is subject to the negative procedure. The purpose of the instrument is to establish a new scheme for providing free milk or non-dairy alternatives, and the healthy snack item, a portion of fresh fruit or vegetables, eligible children who receive childcare services for at least 2 hours per day from a registered childcare provider. Are members content to note the instrument? I see nothing in the chat. Oh, sorry, I've got a request to speak from Pauline McNeill. Pauline.
Thank you. I had a bit of involvement in the whole delivery of milk to children in a previous life. So I spotted the regulations right away. I mean, it's a negative instrument, so we really don't get to know much about it. We're just presented with them. So I'm going to vote for them on the assumption that it's not a detriment to the previous scheme. I mean, I did have a quick flick through them. I mean, I didn't notice anything. So from 1966, I think there's been some changes over the years, but children, I think recently, children under 5 have been entitled to free milk or an alternative, a non-dairy alternative. So I'm just assuming that there's no detriment here to the previous scheme, and on that basis, I'll be content to vote for them.
Polly, that's also my understanding as well, but of course it's something that a successor committee may want to return to look at these entitlements and maybe compare those schemes, but you're right to put that on the record. That said, are members content to note the instrument? I don't see any other requests in the chat box, so we'll deem that to be the case. And we move to agenda item 3, still subordinate legislation, and can refer members to paper 3. The committee will consider the Social Security Telephone and Video Assessment Miscellaneous Amendments Scotland Regulations 2021 SSI 2021/97, which is also subject to the negative procedure. The purpose of the instrument is to provide a statutory basis for undertaking assessments through alternative channels such as video or telephone for personal independence payments or PIP and industrial injuries disability payments. Again, are members content to simply note this instrument? I don't see anything to contrary in the chat box, so we'll deem that to be the case, and we move to agenda item 4, again subordinate legislation. Now, refer members to paper 4. The committee will consider the Carers Allowance Coronavirus Breaks in Care Scotland Amendment Regulations 2021 SSI 2021/140, which is also subject to the negative procedure. The purpose of the instrument is to extend the date of the temporary suspension from 12 May 2021 until 31 August 2022. Regarding the rules that carers can take only 4 weeks of breaks in caring within a 6-month period and continue to receive carers allowance. As members know, we would not usually consider an instrument before the DPLR committee is reported. We mentioned that at our meeting last week. However, the DPLR committee has not had the opportunity to consider the regulations. Members are invited to consider the policy intent of this instrument today, and DPLR will consider the technical aspects next week. So on that basis, and only on that basis, are members content to note the instrument subject to the DPLR committee's consideration next week? Again, I don't see anything in the chat box, so we'll deem that to be the case. And we now move to agenda item 5, again, subordinate legislation. Can I refer members to paper 5 this time? The committee will consider the Disability Assistance for Children and Young People Consequential Amendment, Scotland Regulations 2021, SSI 2021/122, which is subject to the negative procedure once more. Notice was given that this amending instrument would be brought forward. Its purpose is to clarify that the term care home has the meaning given by the Disability Assistance for Children and Young People Scotland Regulations 2021. Once again, are members content to note the instrument? Again, no one's indicated otherwise in the chat function, so we'll deem that to be the case. And we'll move to our final agenda item, which is agenda item 6. Once more, subordinate legislation. I can see we're getting a real high here in this parliamentary sessions. All these subordinate legislations that we're looking at here this morning. And can I refer members to paper 6? The committee will now consider the Council Tax Reduction Scotland Amendment number 3 Coronavirus Regulations 2021 SSI 2021/137, which is subject to the negative procedure. The purpose of the instrument is to amend the Council Tax Reduction Regulations to fully disregard this £500 payment when calculating entitlement to council tax reduction. This instrument will not be considered once more by the DPLR committee until next week. For the reasons mentioned earlier, our members can content to note the instrument on that basis, subject to the DPLR committee's consideration next week. I don't see anything to the contrary in the chat box, so we'll deem that to be the case. Just before I formally close the meeting, I started the meeting with my thanks to a whole range of people, but can I just finally actually thank my fellow MSPs across all parties. This committee is still in its infancy. A lot of the heavy lifting of this committee from some of the members who have stayed on it right through has been remarkable, as has the cross-party non-tribal approach to establishing Scotland's new social security system, and I'm sure that will be the case in the new Parliament. I think that's absolutely vital that that continues, and I want to thank all members, past and present, for the tremendous efforts they've made in relation to that. So the nature of politics is some of us will return, some of us won't, that's up to the electorate, but heartfelt thanks to every single one of you, and whatever the future holds for us all, stay safe and take care, and I'll now formally close this meeting.